Good afternoon, everybody. I just wanted to say a piece about my father, Robert. Not every father-son story begins cleanly. Mine didn't. Robert Salvatore Barravecchio, my biological father, was not the man who raised me from day one, though he was there at the start. I was just an infant when my parents divorced. Without ever being told, I instinctively adjusted to a new reality. Jeff Iorio, the man who stepped in, was the only father I knew through childhood, and he loved me well. He raised me with discipline, integrity, and compassion. He is and always will be Dad. But that didn't erase Robert. Though I had no memory of the early years, Robert never stopped being a part of my story. Somewhere along the way, survival mode kicked in. I buried the severed connection so deeply that I lost memory of him, and even my grandfather Carlo. Looking back now, I can see it was my protective mechanism. My mind, in its wisdom, locked away pain I wasn't ready to process. When we attempted reconciliation during my college years, life got in the way again. We were both caught in turbulent relationships, fighting our own battles, emotionally, spiritually, relationally. Anger, pride, and miscommunication built walls faster than we could ever tear them down. The door closed once more, and years passed again. I named my firstborn son after my grandfather Carlo, without even fully realizing the symbolic weight of that name. And then, everything changed. 3 years ago on Father's Day at my brother's house, Robert showed up. My sons were there, I was there, and in that moment, something sacred happened. We didn't try to fix the past, we simply let it rest. We decided to move forward, to stop chasing memories I couldn't recover, to stop demanding explanations neither of us could give. Forgiveness replaced the need for clarity. Love became more important than answers. And the time between us, once a wound, became a foundation. Robert, it turns out, needed that release as much as I did. He didn't try to justify or explain anymore. He didn't rehash or defend. He simply just showed up with love and openness and peace. And that told me more than words ever could. Sometimes what you don't say matters more. He became a man I was proud to know, not despite our past, but because of how we chose to rise above it. A man who carried no resentment, who gave completely, who loved deeply, not guardedly or cautiously like the past, but freely now. He made room for my brothers and for my sons. Most importantly, he made room for me. That's the kind of man he was. Robert was a man of strength, spirit, unmistakable presence. An honored U.S. Navy veteran, he served his country with dedication and pride. But beyond his uniform, he was a man of music, gifted guitarist, a performer who brought life to any room he entered. Whether on stage or around a kitchen table, he had grit and grace in equal measure. Rough hands from hard work, they say, and a tender heart for his children. 6 of them, in fact. And he would do anything for each of us. He was loyal, bold, alive in every way, whether riding his Harley or revving up his beloved 67 GTO. He carried a fire in him that could not be ignored. He didn't just live, he lived loud. And underneath the horsepower and the chords of his guitar was a man who loved unconditionally, who gave without holding back, sometimes giving the same things to different people. And though we lost time, we gained something else. Redemption, a second chance, and a peace that can only come when you stop letting the past narrate the present. And we all know, in life, no parent's perfect. No man walks through this life without wounds of his own. But Robert did his best. And in the end, that best turned into something beautiful. He was praying each day, learning the Bible, going to church and baptized in his final days, finding forgiveness in his heart and praying for forgiveness from our Father. He was a blessing and a lesson all at once. Some relationships are about rebuilding. His was about rebirth, and ours was about resurrection. So I honor him both for the man he was and for the father he chose to become. You know, he taught me that sometimes the best way to love somebody is to just show up when it matters most. And he did. Services for Robert will be held at Mangano Family Funeral Home in Deer Park on Monday, June 9th for a single service between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. And then we'll be off to Calverton for a U.S. Navy burial service. In honoring my father's wishes, We'll be holding a small private service for close family. However, if you're available, all are welcome. He expressed a desire for something quiet and intimate, and we want to lovingly respect that. We know how much he meant to so many and deeply appreciate the love, the support, and the memories being shared during this time. Have a wonderful day, evening, whatever's left, whenever you're watching this, and God bless.